My friend Laurie Mitchell and I met with a mutual friend, Ray Bridge, Virginia, to a forum put together by then Commissioner King Davis. And Ray Bridge, a fellow consumer and advocate, drove me to Alexandria, picked up Laurie Mitchell, and we went down to Richmond. And we saw her fiance, who was in the local home, a licensed home for adults. And we also went to this forum put together by the Department of then Mental Health, Mental Retardation, and Disability Services. And the topic was developing programs and services for persons with mental illness, particularly housing. Laurie Mitchell had had housing in the programs available in Fairfax County. She had roommate difficulties, so she lost that housing. She was hospitalized repeatedly in the North Virginia Mental Health Institute, and that's also where I met her on another occasion myself as a patient there. And her story was that she was not getting programs and services that she felt she qualified for and that would benefit from. She was illegally discharged at one point to the street. She didn't have housing and they knew it. And on another occasion, she had a medical concern. She had difficulty with weight management and with mobility due to her medical conditions. At that point in the 80s, and early 90s, the Institute did not typically address medical concerns and often would say that the mental health diagnosis is the type of diagnosis that it's all in your head. So Laurie was discounted about this concern that she had. She did have diabetes, and that wasn't being monitored. One day, we went down to Richmond for the housing forum. I actually acted as her personal care attendant while we were there, and we were on the same focus group, which was about hiring consumers to be providers of services in the residential services of Virginia. I'm happy to say that Laurie's name is still being spoken about. The Laurie Mitchell Employment Empowerment Center started out in the effort to make her name known and her story known, that she wanted to have a job, she wanted to be able to go to her faith community, and she wanted to have both medical and behavioral health services and treatments, and it was denied her. And I'm sad to say that while she was in the Institute, she had an event where her health deteriorated, and the Institute shuffled her over to the nearby Fairfax Hospital, where she became deceased. At the same time, Fairfax County, that Laurie Mitchell died, another person who was a twin and went to the then called Merrifield Social Center for psychiatric rehabilitation. She died. And a third person in the same period of time in the field of mental retardation at the training center died. The mental health advocacy community, Ray Bridge, myself, many of us, have not only wanted Laurie Mitchell's name to be remembered, but also the Department of Justice had decided to investigate all three of those fatalities, and the cause has been determined in Laurie's case that she was denied medical treatment, and that's why she deceased. I went to see Laurie Mitchell in state at the funeral home, and I took a look at her face and said, "Finally at peace, dear, finally at peace." And I went home and I determined from that moment on I was going to never forget Laurie Mitchell, and I was going to do my best to make sure that people knew her story and that her eulogy and her memory would continue. And so I enlisted my dear mother to type the information. I asked the people, including her fiance, myself, Vera Mellon, who was the executive director of social centers for psychiatric rehabilitation, many of the staff and other consumers, and her mother to write poems or statements or something in memory of Laurie. And we put it together and then made a booklet out of it. And it was copied at the summertime. There was a convention of Virginia Mental Health Consumers Association, and the Ray Bridge and his wife Marianne Bell copied the booklet and shared it with everybody during the candlelight night that we remembered and spoke about those who lost that year in the mental health field. Laurie would have loved to know that so many mental health consumers now actually are consumer providers, as I was privileged to become in '92. And I look around and I think, well, Laurie, if you were here, you would have been their grandmother just like me. So please, please, please remember Laurie, remember what she wanted, and the advocacy that she did in whatever little way it was. Her life was a treasure.